Capricorn, to your Astrodice reading for February. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If friends like this, hit that big old like button. And if you keep finding yourself on my channel and have not subscribed, subscribe. You might even want to hit that bell ringer, because I've noticed it's taking quite a while to get these videos up. I'm noticing that every time I go to my second channel, I'm like looking and I'm like, that hasn't popped up yet. So let's get into this. We've got quite the eventful month, okay, besides Valentine's Day. But otherwise, we have quite a month over here. And for those of you who are new to Astrodice, this is where I take astrology with tarot, make a small horoscope for the month using only one of the 12 houses. Let's go. Mercury. I see that Mercury coming right in. I like that, though. We're getting ready for Mercury retrograde, so that Mercury coming in is already kind of giving me a telltale sign over here, Cappy. Let's see. We got the 12th house going in with some Aries energy. Mercury to the Aries, to the 12th house. So what is it? It is how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. And how's it going to be done? It's going to be done Aries style. It's going to be done with the energy around you is dynamic, spontaneous, crusading, impulsive. Action is likely to occur. This is going to be some hot energy, super hot. Okay. Explosive. Every time I see Aries, I just think of an explosion. Got the 12th house coming in, so it's going to go straight into the area of your life that is overwhelming you. You yield to the greater cause of power. Yeah, talk about an explosion. Got a nebula over here that's exploding to make baby universes, right? Star system. The baby nursery is what I always call it. Okay, let's get in here. The baby nursery, baby star nursery. Let's go. Getting straight into the situation. The situation is going to take place in the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. And also starting the very beginning of the month, we're starting with the full moon in Leo. So that's all going to get everybody a burst. Just getting right in here, a burst of courage, a burst of creativity, and a burst of eye-awakening, like, wow. This surge from the sun, this surge of this Leo power. I love it. You know, and that's a good way to end a cycle, to begin the new cycle, right? So gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so let's see what we got here, guys. Starting out with recognition, reward. Hey, looks like you're already going to be rewarded right off the bat, right? Right off the bat, you're already going to be rewarded with that spotlight. Spotlighting. Whoa. Somebody put me on a pedestal. Look, I'm having some recognitions and rewards. 3 of Pentacles. Love it. You have some temptation, own energy coming over here. A little bit of resistance over here. Resisting to wanting to be in the spotlight. That's literally what it's saying. So whatever spotlight you're in, you're saying, I don't need that kind of attention. I'm really just patiently planning over here. I'm really trying to do this, you know, and this is like where it's overwhelming you. And I feel like, okay, so here we go. The recognition, the reward is in Mercury, and it's during the beginning of the month, right? It's that Leo energy coming in saying, but I want to reward you. I want to spotlight you. I think this is love bombing. It's like over recognition. That's why you're not taking it. I think it's over recognition. And you're like, Because you would have to say, okay, Cap, why don't you want recognition? What's wrong with you? Come on. Come on. You know you want to be a spotlight. I know. Right? But I think it's a love bomb situation. It's something where somebody's overdoing a certain situation. And that's something that is not on your It's on your radar for sure, but it's not something that you want to happen. It's an overwhelming feeling because it's in the 12th house. So they're overwhelming you with these texts. That's what it is too. Tell me what it is. Recognition and reward. It's like over seduction, maybe with the temptation. They're being over seductive. You could be an Aries actually coming in. Could be actually an Aries or a Sagittarius that's coming in, or it could be a Leo, but it could be a fire sign. But really what I'm seeing over here, and it's funny, it's overwhelming. The messages of passion are overwhelming. That's totally what it is. Look at that. I'm coming in hot and sexy, but I'm over texting. I'm telling you, this is like a love bombing. You're over texting. You're like getting on your, you're taking it to a limit that I don't need all that attention. It's like over attention. It's like obsessive. It's like obsessive texting and love bombing. Yeah. But it's becoming overwhelming. You're just like, this is too much. It could even be from somebody you don't even really know, or somebody you don't really care to like, or maybe you were trying to like them, but now you're kind of trying to stay away a little bit. Maybe they scare you. Maybe you don't trust them. Cap, I mean, you do have trust issues. You're like, you know what? You're overdoing it, and now you're making me overthink the situation. I'm already overthinking the situation. And now you got me in my head so much that you're overdoing everything that now you're making it to where I have trust issues. I didn't really trust you to begin with, because it's going to take me a lot to trust you. But now that you're overdoing it, now I'm kind of like, you're freaking me out. Are you trustworthy? Why are you trying to do this? Well, what's the agenda? So it's almost like you're trying to overthink. You're overthinking the situation. Wow, like that would never happen, right? And but now they're like borderline putting themselves into an area that's overwhelming you because you wanted it like calm, cool, grounded, and it's like you're moving so fast I don't even trust you because you're moving and shaking too much. Could be dealing with Sagittarius. They move fast. You got a lot of fire here, so it could definitely be a Sag. They're quick, they're fast. But usually, a Sag and Cap usually get along very well. But if they're being a little weird and a little awkward, I'm not, not all very Sages, but they are adventurous and they're a little out there, right? When it comes to, let's go, let's do this. But there's, and it doesn't even have to be, it could be anybody in the world. There's something about this one that makes you feel like you got to back up a little bit because they're overdoing it. And then that makes your spidey senses go off. Let's just put it that way because it's literally what it is. Capricorn spidey sense. Something's wrong. Something's there. Why? What is the point? What is your agenda? What is your agenda? Yeah, between you and Scorpio, you guys are watching the world, right? You're like, what's your agenda? What are you doing? Okay, yeah, so it's literally overwhelming you. I totally see that, and that's not a good way. Because you're already confident, and you're like, woohoo, and I'm going good. I'm going good. What are you doing? Why are you making some kind of pressure on me? Why you keep texting me every 5? I haven't even texted you back yet, and you still already sent me like 9 texts. What's wrong with you? Wait, what? What do you want? Yep, look at that. Partnerships going straight into the mid-month. Got partnerships and alliances. Yep, somebody's trying to reach out. Somebody wants to reach out, grab your hand. Yep. But it's overwhelming you, and you're still not seeing anything going on with the situation. Hope, that's Star card in reverse. You're trying to keep your rest and relax and rejuvenation and just be relaxed about the situation in the mid-month, but this person's still overwhelming, and you're just like, hey, excuse me. Can you be dealing with an Aquarius or a Leo? Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing over here. I mean, have they calmed down a little bit? Because, it's a lot of overwhelming. There's a lot of impulsive action going on for sure. Dude, they're not moving away. If anything, they're keep proposing. They want this with you. I still think it's a Sagittarius for some of you. If it's not, it could be an Aquarius for sure. It's a lot of fast action, a lot of impulsion. Could even be an Aries with all the impulsion. I mean, we have Aries there, so. The out in the cold just means that, you know what, I'm happy where I am. Oh, okay, oh, well. Don't bother me. Don't bother me right now. I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm putting you out in the cold. I'm putting you out in the cold. It's almost like a ghost. Quiet. You went quiet. Now it's like you're just listening, but you're not speaking. You're observant is what you're doing. You're being observant to the situation as you're thinking about the situation. You're not sure what they're doing. You're not sure if they're bringing you into a bad situation because they're so impulsive. Are they using you? What is the point? What is going on here? Why are they so impulsive to want to do this? They keep coming back. You know what's crazy though is I do feel like you might have another offer, or you're offering someone else something else. You're putting an offer out there towards another, or you're offering wielding magic to fight. You might be offering your love to someone else. You may be looking at someone else as someone else is coming in. Did you guys have third-party situation going on in your reading? No, I think that was somebody else. Or I have another. Because you might be saying, I already have love. I don't really need that, because it looks like you might be dealing with a water sign. For some of you, it looks like you already are offering your cups and already have your eyes somewhere else. And this person over here is like love bombing the crap out of you. I think that you were thinking maybe that, you know what, I can look and see how they're going to be. But nah, then they start getting on my nerve. And I don't like the motive. You're afraid of hidden agendas because of the way that they're moving and the way it's all going down. I do feel like you are offering or going to take the offer. This is you, of what it looks like to be this water sign for a lot of you. Whether that water sign has already come in the mid-month or it's already been there the whole time, it's going to be a little different for everyone, because this is just too much on your plate over here. Now this is going to be where the fire horse comes in on the 17th. The 14th, you're just going to keep getting love bombed. But I feel like you're talking or mingling with someone else, which, like I said, is a water sign. And I think you're trying to get away from this. We're going to call them fire sign. You have a lot of fire going on over there. When the 17th comes in, it'll be the new moon in Pisces. It'll also be the Chinese New Year, the new lunar cycle, where the fire horse will finally come in and that snake will go away. So I do feel like it could have been the last temptations of something, or trying to wield something with the snake, you know, as it's moving around, pushing things in, pushing things out, giving out tests, testing things. But I do feel like this is a new momentum of getting your heart's desires, because remember, that's what the fire horse is about. Fast momentum, desires, pushing you towards what it is you truly want, what you're truly aiming for, which is not overwhelming chaos. So I think that it's just going to be a little more grounding for you in its own way. Which you're already a grounded sign anyways, but you're going to want that grounding. The only reason I'm saying that is because this is kind of a flippant energy that this fire sign is putting off there. It's flippant for you. It's kind of like, even if they didn't have bad intentions, it definitely just feels like they're pulling you into something that's not going to last, right? And that could be just its motive in itself. Just to, like, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, it's going to be hot, it's going to be sexy, and then the fire is out as fast as it was put in. And you're like, I don't want that. You know, I want something stable. I want something, you know, I don't want something that's just heated for the day and you know, and then gone, you know, gone the next. You're going to make me try to trust you. And I think that's a lot of where the trust is because it's too fast. It's too eager. There's an eagerness to it that is kind of like, it's an offset. You know, it's kind of like, I mean, fire is fast like that, you know. They do. They you know, get things going, you know. But they also can put things out real fast too if they're not happy. So it's kind of like, you're gonna fuck my heart up, and I don't want to trust that, and I don't want to do that. I need something a little more stable. You seem to be too hot, too heavy, and all over the place. Going to the end of the month, you have the wisdom. There's the wisdom right there, to the memories of love. Yeah. To the moving on away from that situation, because you just see too much deception in this situation. Could be an air sign, not a fire sign. And that's fine, guys. We're not worried about the signs. What we're worried about really is about how we're going to get over this overwhelming situation and not allow this to stress you out. Okay. And it could even give you the understanding that, you know what, maybe in the end I will speak up. More than likely you probably won't. You're pretty quiet. Once you go quiet, it's pretty much done. If you're going to speak, that's usually very scary. Because then you're going to speak your mind, and nobody really needs that. We just, yeah, you know, and just kind of close the book, you know, close the door and kind of be done with it, right? Kind of dig it a hole and be done. So I do feel, Capricorn, that your mind is overwhelmed, but the truth is buried deep within this situation. But it's time to release this situation with this person. And I do feel like, you know, you carrying all this overwhelming situation and silently doing it towards the end. I just feel like that's going to be it, you know, because you're going to move on from this. I see that. And you're going to have the Mercury retrograde come in on the 25th, and you really don't need any extras to go with this. You know, you cut this off before the Mercury retrograde, and hopefully they'll just, you know, you won't even have to deal with that. Because who knows, right? Who knows? I just feel like it's gonna, you know, you don't want any more mental burnout, okay? And like I said, you know, you don't need to give it any more than's already there, because it looks like you, like I said, a lot of you already got your eye on someone else, and you're already mingling with someone else, okay? So I say release what's overwhelming you before it consumes you. Do not allow this to consume you, especially when we're getting ready for for Mercury retrograde. There's no reason, right? You don't need that to come back. That's just going to cause more stress. Absolutely. It's not even going to break your heart. You know, it's not, because there's not enough there to break your heart. You're like, no, I'm just going to let this go. You know, I'm just going to let that go. I'm having a little nostalgia about what was going on. And I don't even feel like it's not big nostalgia, because it wasn't anything that you really did with this person. It's more like just going over your mind of the memories of what they were doing, what they were saying, how they were making you not trust them. And then saying, you know, it's just not going to work. I'm going to let you go. Whether you're actually going to speak it or ghost it, however it is. You know, I've kind of thought about it. You know, if you are speaking it, it's kind of like I thought about it, and, you know, I just don't think we're going to work because we're a lot different. Yeah. That will keep you from having to overextend. Just be like, oh, goodbye. Yeah, because it looks like you're planting your seeds. I already said that, though. It looks like you're planting your seeds somewhere else with your Ace of Pentacles. There it is. You're planting your seeds for your Ace of Pentacles. We already said that. You are holding the ace, which I believe is another person. It could be an earth sign or a water sign. It could be, you know, it could be a Taurus. Capricorn and Taurus go along very well. So, you know, and yeah, for love reasons. So I just feel like you don't want any deception. You don't want any false hopes. You don't want any, you know, masks or any reasons to understand anything. You're like, no, I got this other person. I'm working on this other person, or I'm too consumed with this other situation that I don't even want to deal with this, right? Because you're overwhelming me. So beautiful reading, guys. I mean, you guys are going to get right through this. Are they going to be sad about the situation? I don't know. Let's look and see. Let's use a different deck and see how they're going to feel about that situation. We're going to call it fire sign, of course. So how does the fire sign feel about the situation? Just one or two cards is all they need. In some ways, they're not actually surprised. They're actually, they're very disappointed. That's a card of disappointment. But they have new ideas. And look at that. They feel like they know that they were being impulsive, but they were trying to get something done. But yeah. Now that's kind of interesting because it says you are not hurt by the situation, but they're feeling 3 of Swords. Because they were actually hoping that you would give them a chance, but they realized that there was no messages coming through anymore. So, which kind of got them in their head. So they knew that it was not going to go the way they wanted it to go. Okay. So they already seen that coming. I just think that they seen it coming, guys, but they had high hopes for the situation. Like, maybe it'll work, right? Maybe if I keep impulsively driving like a crazy person, it will go. But it didn't. And that was actually the downfall, I think, to the situation, unless you already have someone, was the over impulsiveness. And there could have been other reasons too, because you could say, you know what, they're being compulsive was just overwhelming and annoying. I never wanted to go with them anyways. And that could be a huge possibility because you do have that. Wasn't going to travel towards them anyways. So, okay, my friends, till next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.